Welcome to another exciting review courtesy of Cars with Big Boy Tribe. Today we are sampling a brand with heritage. Close to 60 years, Nissan has been synonymous with the pickup truck. Remember the Datsun Debe? Fast forward to the Sahara, then the first edition of the Atoti, the hard body, then the Navara, which is generation 1, 2004, 2005, and now we have the brand new Nissan Navara straight from Nissan Japan, and it's ready to conquer the world. First things first, what differentiates this particular car from the rest of the herd? Let's start with the interior. It looks very car-like. Remember, the Navara was the first pickup to now incorporate the designing of work and play in the design concept. This on the second generation now is even more enhanced. You do have a passenger-like feel. The dashboard looks like it's been lifted straight from the Nissan X-Trail with the piano black finish over here, the center console, and of course is a touchscreen information display that houses the climate control, which is dual zone, the audio system, which is okay and has Bluetooth, MP3 functionality, and of course you can pair your phone and you can control and make calls via the phone. And then you do also have speech recognition system that allows you to control certain functions of this particular car without taking your hands off the wheel. Let's try. Turn on radio.
Radio.
Now that helps you to concentrate on the road because you don't need to take your hands off the steering wheel when driving. So it's very important. It's intuitive. It can listen to you, and it can actually tapping into your vocals so that you can get crystal clear clarity of when you're combining it to do certain functions. That said, the multi-color information display also houses the navigation system, which works in Africa. It's called Tracks for Africa. It's preloaded into an SD card, which you place it over here on the slot. And once you place it in, then you're able to literally navigate the whole of Africa, including the beaten tracks. Everywhere it's mapped towards that, and then it's upgraded frequently so that during service you're able to upgrade the system to new roads as it's been mapped by Tracks for Africa. So this is a very important function in this day and age. Going down to the gearbox console, of course, over here, you do have some certain features and locks. This particular car is four-wheel drive, remember. So it has a switchable on-the-fly system that you can switch from too high and too low. You have to stop at some point and switch it to two-wheel drive or four high or four low, depending on the situation that you're driving in. Again, it also have diff lock and hill descent control. The instrument panel on the driver's side is very clear with italics very visible, so that you're able to concentrate on the road without dazzling your eyes. It's illuminated in a light blue hue as well. I don't know if that's a color for most manufacturers, but that said, in the middle of the two dials where the speedometer and tachometer is an instrument, an LCD instrument warning system that gives you the vital information. So if your doors are open, if you're low on fuel, if you're switching from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive, it will give you all that information with ease. Again, you have a menu that you can toggle through it will give you the range of the vehicle, average speed, trip distance, fuel economy, and of course the music that you're playing on the sound system. That said, the seats are very comfortable. It's a 5-seater, and I like the space in the Navara. At the front, you do have a suede finish, which is very good. You have side bolsters that keeps you very comfortable over long distances, and of course lumbar support over here. And of course you do have your safety belt, which is a key component on your safety. At the back, you do have plenty of head and leg room for even rear passengers, so you do have plenty of space to seat 3 people comfortably. That said, this particular car, in terms of safety, has a mix of active and safety systems. You do have, on the active side, you do have anti-lock braking system with EBD, which is electronic brake force distribution, and brake assist. But in case all else breaks loose, then you can rely on the electronic stability program to get you out of trouble. And in case things go bad, then you have 7 airbags, including the knee airbag over here, to protect you and your family from harm's way. That's why we need to go to the back and see the capability of this Nissan Navara. Let's go. Guys, at the back you can see the Nissan Navara's boot is quite spacious. It's deep enough to accommodate your luggage, and now with this highly accessorized version you can actually get a canopy courtesy of Nissan. And that said, if you don't want a canopy, you can also get a tonneau cover, the retractable one, and it has movable anchors so that you can be able to pin down your luggage, your load, your vegetables, name it. This particular car can handle it. And of course you do have a 12-volt socket right there to power your stuff. It could be a tire generator or a fridge, could be anything. But that's it. we need to find out if this car is capable of road. Remember, this particular car is against the Toyota Hilux, the Ford Ranger, the Isuzu D-Max, the Tata Xenon, and so many more. So stay Big Boy Drive, and Mirigi will join me as do this review together. Somewhere on Gong Hills, and we are about to test the full capabilities of this particular Nissan Navara. I shall start with the power plant. Now, Nissan, in their wisdom, have put a 2.3 liter, which is twin turbo actually, that produces 140 kilowatts and 450 newton meters of torque. Now, all that power is transmitted to the 4 wheels courtesy of a 7-speed automatic gearbox. Now, this gearbox is very interesting because it's quite fast, and it allows you to exploit the full potential of the 450 newton meters of torque, and it does have some things that allows you to engage 4-wheel drive. So you do have a transfer case, a 2-speed transfer case, so you have 4 high, 4 low, and 2 high. Mirigi,
Yes, sir.
4-wheel drive capability, how capable is this car? Shall we try?
Yeah, we should.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Guys, behind the wheel of the Nissan Navara. This is a car I have a long history with. We are currently now in 4 high. I think you
Yes,
said that up
4
just
high,
before
yes.
we went in. We're in a fairly reasonable stretch of traffic.
Yes.
I think one of the things that we need to also remember is that most of the owners of these cars are not going to push it to an extreme.
Yes.
The coil springs now with the multi-link suspension at the back
Yes.
make the everyday road use a lot easier. So for most of the other double cabs with the springs at the back, when it doesn't have a load, it keeps bouncing all over the
There's
place.
that bouncing effect you get all the time.
Yeah, so the thing is, unless you have a load, we're now getting into a bit of a tricky section over here. We call it a multimodal,
Yes.
I believe. And it's doing pretty okay. I mean, the engine is pretty fine. It's just walking us up this hill with the minimum of fuss.
So good is the chassis of this particular car, the Nissan Navara, that, remember, the Mercedes X-Class is based on this particular car,
Yeah.
and the Renault Alaskan. It tells you something, that Nissan understands how to build a proper pickup truck.
If I was to summarize this pickup in one word,
Yes.
it would be refinement.
Yes.
The engine is fantastic. It's this 7-speed automatic. The twin turbo is great because it gives you power at the low end
Yes.
and at the high end as well.
Yes.
It's not too loud.
Yes.
It actually sounds really good. So right now we are testing out the hill descent control. My foot is not on the brake. My foot is not on the accelerator. The car is just taking us down very smoothly, very easily. And like I said before, if I was to describe this pickup in one word, refinement.
Yes.
Refinement from the engine to the gearbox to the style
Yes.
and to the ease of use of the features that the car has.
We're going to take you through the value for money proposition. Does a Navara tick all your boxes, or do you prefer the rivals? Jane, myself, and Mirigi for this and much more, courtesy of Cars Big Boy Drive. So guys, we've extensively tested the Nissan Navara. It's tough, capable, and has pedigree, as the name suggests. Question is, would you pick this over the rivals? Now, this particular car costs 6.3 million Kenya shillings with all the bells and whistles, as you can see here. And you can visit Nissan Kenya. They'll give you details on the extensive coverage about servicing this particular car, and you're rest assured if you're driving in the Bundus, your Nissan will be safe. Back to Mr. Mirigi. Rivals, who are they, and should somebody consider this over that?
I think when it comes to the rivals, you can actually split them down between the guys who have a large, long history that they're building upon and the new players into the market. So if you're talking about the heritage players, that would be now the Hilux and the D-Max have a long history of producing fantastic vehicles. But we also can't forget about the newcomers. That would be now the Ford Ranger and the absolutely excellent Volkswagen Amarok. So it really depends on what type of application that you're looking at, what it is specifically you want to do. Are you looking for a workhorse? Are you looking for a comfortable vehicle that has additional capability?